Something has shifted in Thailand for 2026. The legendary value of Phuket and Bangkok is disappearing. If you're on a modest pension, the maths just don't add up anymore. But the dream isn't dead. You just have to look where everyone else is driving past. I've spent months scouting 5 specific spots where you can actually thrive, not just survive. Let's start 20 minutes south of Pattaya. Bang Saray is only about 20 minutes south of Pattaya, but it feels like a different world. It's a real fishing village. I don't mean a tourist version with fancy signs. I mean actually small boats, local fishermen, and a morning market where the prices are what Thai people actually pay. If you're willing to shop and eat like a local, your grocery bill here is going to be tiny. The beach itself isn't a postcard paradise. It's a working beach, but it's quiet. You can walk for miles in the morning without anyone trying to sell you a jet ski or a sunbed. For a lot of people, that peace and quiet is worth more than a fancy resort. The real win here for the retiree is the healthcare. We're getting older, and let's be honest, stuff goes wrong eventually. Living here means you're just a short drive away from the big, world-class hospitals in Pattaya. You get the quiet life, but you've got that safety net right down the road. Rent is also cheaper than Pattaya. It's not dirt cheap, but it's enough of a difference to give your pension some breathing room every month. I'll be straight with you about the downsides. It's a small town. If you need big malls, cinemas, or a busy social life, you're going to get bored here fast. There's almost no nightlife, and shopping is basic. Some people love that silence. Others find it lonely after a month. You have to know which one you are. The bottom line is this: if you want to save money, stay near great doctors, and avoid the tourist crowds, you need to take a look at Bang Saray. But if you're willing to trade being near those big Pattaya hospitals for even lower daily costs, we need to head across the Gulf to a place that just works. Chatham doesn't get a lot of love in retirement videos. To be honest, it's not the most Instagram-worthy place, and it doesn't have the big, shiny selling points you get in Phuket. But here's the thing, Chatham just works. It's basically where people from Bangkok go for the weekend. It's busy and relaxed, but most importantly, it's built for Thai people, not foreign tourists. And that is the secret to why it's so cheap. To give you a real number, if you're looking at a budget of around 50,000 baht a month, which we know can be a squeeze in the big hubs, in Chatham, that same 50,000 baht goes about 30% further than in somewhere like Hua Hin. You aren't just surviving on that pension here, you're actually living well. In a town built for locals, you'll pay local prices. The people selling grilled corn on the beach or the small hole-in-the-wall restaurants with plastic chairs aren't charging expat prices. If you're willing to eat like a local, you'll save a fortune on food here. We're talking about a fraction of what you'd spend in Hua Hin. You've also got the van service, which is a cheap way to get into Bangkok if you need a big city fix, without having to pay the high cost of living there. The beach is long, flat, and the water is warm. It's not a dream landscape, but it's a nice place for a morning walk before the weekend crowds show up. Now for the honest truth. Chatham can look a bit tired and run down in some spots. If you fancy Western food or a big social scene with other expats, you're going to find it a bit thin. It gets very sleepy during the week, which some people love and others find boring. At the end of the day, Chatham doesn't try and be flashy. It's just a real functional town. But if your goal is to make your pension last as long as possible, a simple, steady lifestyle like this is exactly what you're looking for. Now, if Chatham is a bit too sleepy for you, but you still want the seaside value, you only have to drive an hour south to find a spot that's perfect for the active retiree. Pranburi is just south of Hua Hin. It's close enough that you can drive in for whatever you need, but far enough away that you aren't stuck paying those big city prices. Now more people are starting to find out about it, so it's not the secret it used to be, but for rent and day-to-day living, it's still much better value than staying right in Hua Hin Centre. The real reason to move here isn't just the price though, it's the lifestyle. If you like being active, this is the place. You've got Khao Kolok right there for morning walks with a view that reminds you why you moved to Thailand in the first place. The cycling is great, the roads are quiet, and it's just a beautiful place to be when the sun comes up. If you aren't the type who just wants to sit on the beach all day, if you actually want to get out and do something, Pranburi gives you a quality of life that's hard to beat. The best part is you still have the safety net of Hua Hin nearby. If you need a Western supermarket, a good hospital, or a night out with other expats, it's all right there. Then you get to drive back home to your quiet, cheaper neighbourhood. But let's be honest about the catch. Pranburi is spread out. You need a car or a motorbike here. If you don't have your own wheels, life is going to be a struggle. It's also very quiet at night. There's not much of a scene in Pranburi itself. Most of that happens in Hua Hin. If you're okay with that bit of a drive and you want an active, beautiful retirement without paying for the famous name, Pranburi is a solid choice. But if you keep driving just 15 minutes further south, the landscape completely changes and you hit the most dramatic scenery on the list. Roi Yot literally means 300 peaks. The second you see the massive mountains rising up from the flat coast, you'll get it. It's a stunning place. And to be honest, that view never really gets old. This area is about as far away from the typical expat life as you can get. Since it's a national park area, the big draws are all natural. The mountains, the marshes, the beaches that are practically empty compared to famous spots. And for those of you who have asked me about the air quality, because we know the burning season up north is no joke, these southern spots like Roi Yot National Park and further south generally stay much clearer. You get those fresh sea breezes year round, which is a massive health win that a lot of the glossy brochures forget to mention. The people who retire here are usually a specific type. They aren't looking for a social club, they want peace and quiet. One of the biggest pension tips I've heard from people living here is that your spending just naturally drops. Why? Because there's nothing to spend it on. No big malls, no fancy international restaurants, and no traps designed to pull money out your pocket. Life is simple here, and simple life is cheap life. If you're the kind of person who's happy watching the birds over the marshes or taking a quiet walk on a beach, you can live a high quality life here for very little money. But, and this is a big but, the trade-offs are real. You are in the middle of nowhere. You absolutely need your own car or bike for everything. There is no social scene, and for anything more than basic groceries, you're driving back to Pranburi or Hua Hin. Also, if you have health issues that need regular doctor visits, you have to think about that distance. You're a long way from a major hospital. Roi Yot isn't for everyone. In fact, it's probably not for most people. But if you're the right person, it offers a lifestyle that you just can't buy in the big cities. However, if you love the idea of these low prices, but you don't want to be quite that isolated, You need to see this final spot. I want to spend a bit more time on this one, because Prachuap Khiri Khan is easily the most underrated place on this list. Most people driving south from Bangkok just zoom right past it. That's a huge mistake. But honestly, it's that mistake that keeps this town so affordable for those of us who actually stop to look. Prachuap is a small town sitting on a perfect curved bay with a mountain at each end. The waterfront walk is incredible. It's the kind of view that never gets old. You've also got Monkey Mountain right in the town with a temple at the top. Just a heads up, the monkeys there have a lot of personality and they will try and steal your breakfast if you aren't looking. What makes Prachuap a win for your pension is the massive gap between how nice it is and how little it costs. It's a beautiful coastal town that isn't trying to be a tourist trap. It's just a real Thai town with a fishing harbour and great local markets. The rent here is the big story. Historically, you're looking at prices way below what you pay for the same thing in Hua Hin. If you're happy eating local Thai food, your daily cost of living here is going to be as low as it gets by the sea. Now, the catch is that the expat scene is very small. If you need a big group of English-speaking friends to feel at home, you might find it a bit lonely. There aren't many Western amenities either, supermarkets are basic, and there isn't a major international hospital in town. For the big city stuff, you're looking at a 90-minute drive north to Hua Hin. But there's something special about living in a place that's real. You aren't a customer in an expat bubble. You're a guest in a real Thai community. The morning market is for the locals, and the restaurants are decorated for Thai tastes, not Western tourists. If you want coastal beauty, a slower pace, and the best value for your money in Thailand, right now Prachuap Khiri Khan is the strongest case I can make. So let's wrap this up. Each of these 5 places fits a different type of person. Bang Saray is for the person who wants to be sensible. You get a quiet life, but you've got those big Pattaya hospitals right down the road if you need them. Chatham is for the person who just wants something that works. It isn't fancy and it isn't trying to be. If you want to keep your costs as low as possible and you don't care about a glamorous address, it's a great choice. Pranburi is for an active crowd. If you want to spend your morning cycling or walking in nature, but you still want to pop into Hua Hin for a steak or a Western supermarket, this is your spot. Roi Yot is for the true escape. If you're happy with just the mountains, the birds, the total silence, you can live here for next to nothing. It's beautiful, but you have to be okay with being out there. And Prachuap Khiri Khan is, in my opinion, the best deal in the country right now. It's a real beautiful coastal town that hasn't been ruined by tourism yet. If you can handle a smaller social scene, the value here is unbeatable. One last honest word before I go. Everything I've talked about today is just a starting point. Prices change and everyone's experience is different. Thailand rewards people who actually show up, do your homework, and spend a few weeks in a place before signing a lease. Please do your own research on the ground before you make any big moves. What I want you to take away is this. Thailand isn't over for retirees on a modest pension. It's just changing. The famous spots might be getting expensive, but the real Thailand is still out there, and it's still affordable. If you're ready to stop watching and start planning your own move, I'm now offering one-to-one consultations. We look at the specific budget, visa options, and whether your plan actually stacks up for 2026. If you want that personalized roadmap, the link is in the description under the extra section. And if you're just starting your journey, I still want to hear from you. Drop a comment below with your biggest worry or a question I haven't answered yet. I read every single one. Thanks for the support on the channel. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on the next one, guys.